Good afternoon, people, and welcome to Cooking on the Corsican. You join us here on our moorings at Achill. It's Saturday, it's the 18th of March 2017 already. And this week our vlog is steak au pois, or steak with a peppercorn sauce, okay? And that sounds very difficult, French dish. Everybody thinks, oh, French cooking is very complicated. Well, it isn't. I'm going to show you what we do. The first thing I'm going to tackle is steak. This steak I'm using here is ribeye steak. Okay, it's one of my favourite cuts of steak. Steve will just pan in on it. You can use any kind of steak for this, obviously. You can use sirloin, you can use fillet, you can use rump, you can use whatever you like, but I've chose to use ribeye. Now, we don't want these steaks till a bit later on, but as I explained to you in another video, you must take meat out the fridge before you cook it. At least a couple of hours. It must come back to room temperature before you try and cook it. Please, if you don't do anything else that we tell you, you know, follow that rule. Always bring your meat back to room temperature before you cook it. Okay, now how I cook steak, I never put any oil in the pan. I do them in a dry pan and I oil the steak, okay? So this is what I do. This oil is ground nut that I'm using because it can take high heat, because I'm going to be putting these in a very hot pan. And all I do is I rub the steak with the oil. Okay, and the hand that's got oil on it, I don't put in the black pepper, and then I cover them in black pepper. I am not going to put any salt on at this stage because these are going to lie out for a couple of hours and the salt would draw all the juices out of the steak. However, if I was doing this just before putting them in the pan, I would in fact salt them at this stage as well. Okay? So we'll get our pepper on there and we'll give it a bit of a pat in. There you go. And I shall turn the steaks, the big old steaks, and using my clean hand, I should put a bit of oil on each steak again. There you go. And I'll give both steaks a good rub over. I shall just put my lid on my oil because I've knocked it over. That's absolutely lovely. And using my clean hand again, I shall liberally cover them. And what I usually do at home is because I'm not using the microwave, I usually just open the microwave door and just stick this plate in the microwave and shut the door, and then no flies or anything like that can get to it. On the boat here, what we do is we put them in the oven and just shut the oven door. Obviously the oven isn't lit and that just stops anything getting to it. So there you go, people. They've both got a liberal amount of black pepper, and I shall just basically leave them until tonight. This is going to be a very quick vlog this week when I shall come back and show you how to cook the perfect steak, and then I will show you how to make the peppercorn sauce, which everybody thinks is very complicated, but when I show you how to make this, I promise you, you'll never go and buy another packet or jar of peppercorn sauce again. Very, very, very simple to make. I will just touch on, people, while we're here, it's been a really great week. We've had about 14 or 15 subscribers this week to the channel, which has been absolutely fantastic. Thanks ever so much to people that are subscribing to the channels. It shows us you're enjoying the videos, and if you are enjoying the videos, please subscribe, give us a big thumbs up. We want the channel to grow, and the only way we can make it grow is with you good people out there watching these videos. So if you have been, thanks very much indeed, and we'll catch you a bit later on when we come back to cook the steaks and to make the peppercorn sauce. So we'll see you when we get back. Bye bye for now. So welcome back to Cooking on the Corsican. Steak with a peppercorn sauce is the state of affairs this evening. And this, in my opinion, and only in my opinion, this is how you cook the perfect steak, okay? We'll cook the steak first and then we'll make the peppercorn sauce. This pan here, I don't know if you can see it on it, it is just smoking. It's been on that ring for about 7 minutes. We've disconnected the fire system on the boat and opened the doors and the windows because this is how you cook a steak as far as I'm concerned. I do the same at home, I turn the fire alarms off at home, okay? So my oiled steaks from earlier with the black pepper on them, which we crushed ourselves, by the way. I'm going to just put them straight in this pan and wait to hear this. They're big thick steaks. Normally I would give them 1.5 minutes each side, but because of the size of these steaks I'm going to actually give them 2 minutes. But I'm not going to touch them, I'm not going to mess about with them, I'm going to leave them alone. I shall just quickly wash this plate up. You can smell the black pepper. I've got some cauliflower in the oven. I've got the potatoes on a gentle simmer at the back there. And I'll just wash this plate, there you go. And then the cooked steaks can go back on it. So there we go. And all I do is I get a fork every now and then and I just give the steaks a little bit of a push down, like this. But I'm not moving them off the spot that they're already on. Sorry about the coughing, people, I'm still suffering with this bloody thing a month now. It's driving me up the wall. So Steve has got a sneaky little timer going in the background there, and he is going to tell me when these are about 2 minutes. And you really, if you want to cook the perfect steak, this is the way to do it. As I say, a normal thickness steak about this thick, they would only want 1.5 minutes aside. If you want them done medium, give them about 2.5 minutes. If you want them well done, 3.5 minutes. This steak, well done, probably about 4 minutes, this type of thickness. And that's the same with fillet, rump, sirloin, any of them. They all work the same way. Was that our timer?
2 minutes, yeah.
That was our timer. Let you see this when this is turned over because I've no messed about with it. Look at the lovely caramelisation and colour on that steak. I'll do the same on the other side. I shall turn it over and I shall not mess about with it. That'll get 2 minutes. There you go. That looks absolutely fantastic. What I will do now, as I didn't earlier on, I shall get a little bit of salt and I shall just season the steaks. Okay, they are seasoned. Beautiful. And again, just a little bit of a rub down. I'm just going to open my oven door and just let some of the heat out of it, because I'm going to put these steaks in the oven to rest. And really, this is the trick in this. You put a piece of steak in a very hot pan, it goes like that, and you've seared it. Well, then when you take it out, it needs to relax. Oh, and that's what finishes off the cooking, is the relaxation time you give it in a very, very low oven. And I am going to rest this for 5 minutes, and believe you me, that will be absolutely delicious. So remember your times for a normal steak: 1.5 minutes if you want medium rare, 2.5 if you want medium, 3.5 if you want well done. If you want blue, less. The hotter you can get the pan, the better. Right.
2 minutes?
That's another 2 minutes. So I'm going to take the steaks right out. Now I'm going to put them straight onto a plate and into my very, very low oven. And Steve will time 5 minutes. And in that 5 minutes, I'm going to make our peppercorn sauce. So into that pan, I'm going to add a knob of butter. I've got some red onion here, which I've chopped up very finely. I was going to use, and normally would use some shallots, but I will be honest with you, when I was at the supermarket, I did actually forget to get the shallots. So we're on a bit of a standby with the red onion. So I'm just going to do the red onion. I didn't think I'd need it all, but I am. Ring still full pale. Garlic, optional. Madge and Padge, the garlic is optional. But Steve and I love garlic. You'll be really amazed how quick this sauce comes together. And the smell already of the butter and the garlic and the onion. Is absolutely tremendous. Okay, I'm now going to put a little bit of brandy in here. Just see if we get a bit of flambe on the go. There we go. Did you catch the flambe? Now that's not me trying to show off or anything like that. The reason I flambéed that is to burn the alcohol off, okay? Because we don't want the raw alcohol. Now the peppercorns, which we crushed ourselves under the weight of a heavy saucepan. And I'm going to put in 2 big scoops. In fact, 3 big scoops, because at the end of the day, this is a peppercorn sauce. And I've got some chicken stock here. I'm going to put a little chicken stock in. How long have our steaks been resting, Steve?
Two minutes left, so I've been resting for 3.
So I've got 2 minutes to finish my sauce off.
Just over 2 minutes, yeah.
So that's absolutely super. That's come to the boil already. I've now got my cream. This is just double cream. And I'm going to add a big glug of double cream. This is not for anybody that happens to be on a diet, by the way. Now I'm just going to have a little taste for seasoning. I know it won't need pepper, but it may need a little touch of salt. We'll just see. Do you know that doesn't? That's absolutely fine. I'm just going to let it come to the boil. And that'll start to reduce down. As it reduces down, it'll darken up slightly. And now for decoration purposes, I'm just going to put a few whole peppercorns in it. for decoration purposes. There we go. So that's the 5 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to turn our oven off completely. Potatoes I'm going to leave. I'm just going to leave this sauce for 1 minute. You can see it just starting to darken slightly. So I'm now just going to have a look at my steak. If Steve would like to come round here, I'm just going to very quickly turn this sauce down and I'm going to show you people that this steak is perfectly cooked. I'm going to get a knife and I'm going to cut into one of these steaks just to show you that that is perfectly medium rare. Get enough light there, Steve?
Yeah.
And there you go, people, that is perfectly medium rare. But what I'm going to do, I'll cut Steve's in half as well. I'll leave that like that. Don't forget that plate's hot, you idiot. And what I shall do is I shall just slip the juices and the steaks into the pan. And there you go, people. That is steak with a peppercorn sauce. I've turned this ring down really low. There you go. I don't know what you think of that, but that is steak with a peppercorn sauce. Please give it a try. If you've been watching these videos, thanks very much for watching them. Thanks for subscribing. If you've enjoyed this one, please go down and subscribe. Give us a big thumbs up, and we'll catch you on the next vlog. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.